Hello, dear students. Welcome to this episode of Podcast on Literature. Chapter Oliver Twist. Oliver Twist is a novel by Charles Dickens, published in 1838. This novel was the first of the author's works to realistically depict the impoverished parts of the London society and to illustrate his belief that poverty leads to crime. Dickens uses the character's situation to criticize public policy towards the poor in 1830s England. Oliver, our protagonist, is between 9 and 12 years of age when the main action of the novel occurs. Though treated with cruelty and surrounded by miseries for most of his life, the child remains innocent, and his charms draw the attention of several wealthy benefactors. His true identity is the central mystery of the novel. Children, the story in the Oxford Reading Circle is an excerpt from this novel. A young orphan, Oliver attempts to stay good in a society that refuses to help him. Oliver is born in a workhouse to a mother not known to anyone in the town. She dies right after giving birth to him, and he is sent to an orphanage where he and the other orphans are treated terribly and fed very little. Here, our little baby Oliver is under the care of Mrs. Mann, the superintendent of the juvenile workhouse where Oliver is raised. She physically abuses and half-starves the children in her care. When Oliver turns 9, another character, Mr. Bumble, comes in, a pompous, self-important beadle. Beadle means a minor church official. For the workhouse where Oliver is born, visits the orphanage to fetch the child. Children, you will find Mr. Bumble as a man who preaches Christian morality but behaves without compassion towards the paupers under his care. Well, Oliver is sent to the workhouse, where again he and the others are treated badly and practically starved. They are made to work very hard and are served very less food, a ladle full of watery gruel. So, one day when the boys are unable to stand their hunger any longer, they decide to draw straws to choose who will have to go up and ask for more food. Oliver is chosen to do the job. On the appointed day, after finishing his first serving of gruel, he goes up and asks for more. Mr. Bumble, the beadle, and the board are outraged, and they decide to get rid of Oliver. Dear children, Charles Dickens was well versed in the poverty of London, as he himself was a child worker after his father was sent to debtor's prison. His appreciation of the hardships endured by the impoverished citizens like Oliver stayed with him for the rest of his life. And this is what we see in all his writings and novels. Dickens began writing Oliver Twist after the adoption of the Poor Law of 1834, which halted government payments to the able-bodied poor unless they entered workhouses. Thus, Oliver Twist became a medium to voice the concerns of those who can't do it for themselves, aimed directly at the problem of poverty in 19th century London. Oliver Twist became very popular as soon as it was published because of its interesting, relatable, and realistic subject matter. To this day, Oliver Twist is enjoyed by many for its historical and social relevance and its exciting storyline. It has been adapted for film several times, including in 1948, directed by David Lean, and 2005, directed by Roman Polanski. End of episode.